Hi, welcome back. Jim here again. Today I just want to go through some flight techniques, some tips and some tricks for how to make your footage be a lot more smoother. What I did is I went through and I looked through some of the footage that I had, and I pulled out 3 clips specifically. 2 of them are from the maiden flight that I had with the Mavic Mini, and one is a little bit later. And what I did for each of them is I put the joysticks, I've embedded the joystick direction on top of the video so you can see exactly what I was doing on the controller as I was flying. So it's important that you look at those joystick indicators so you can see what the patterns are for flights. I've kept it very simple to 2-dimensional moves, moving left and right in some rotation to try to make the footage a little bit more interesting. Over time, what we'll do is we'll add 2 levels, 3 levels, 4 levels of directional change, whether it's moving left, rotating to the right, gaining altitude or decreasing altitude, and moving the gimbal. By doing that, you get much more interesting footage. Your viewers are going to like it more, and it's going to be more appealing to anyone that's watching it. And at this point, we're just going to go through. Like I said, it's 3 videos that I have. Check out what I've done. I'll narrate as I'm going through, and hopefully by the end of it, you'll have some type of tips for how to make your footage look a little nicer. So anyways, this is for anyone that's a beginner all the way up to someone that's more advanced. Hopefully you walk away with this learning something. So let's go through the first video. And as I said, this is from my maiden flight. And what I did here is I'm just taking off and I'm rotating over towards my subject, kind of position myself where I'd like to be. And once I get to where I need to be or where I want to be, you'll notice in my joystick I'm moving to the right, but I'm trying to gain a little bit of altitude and do a little bit of a rotation. So here, there's probably 2 or 3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds in here throughout this rotation where you can say it's a good footage and you can use it, but the rest of it is not good. Either it's choppy or the rotation is too much and I'm over-rotating and so on. So that's the first clip. Try doing a couple of different ways. Now here's the second clip, and in this one I'm moving to the left, but I'm trying to do a rotation to the right. And you can see right there, it wasn't really good, but I was really trying to get in position and centering my subject, and I screwed it up again. But I'm still trying to hold it, right? Eventually, I get to the point where I'm holding it maybe for a second or 2, but this wasn't one of the best flights that I had. So, something for you to note here, this is something where you're going to want to be able to practice and keep your subject in the middle, find something that you want centered, and that's what you're going to be rotating on. So here's another clip now. This one's from a few weeks ago, right around golden hour sunset. I was trying to film and capture that the shadows and the trees, and as you can see here, the flight is much more smoother. Notice the joysticks, they're held in position. My fingers are holding it in position. It doesn't have any abrupt movements, doesn't have anything which is making the drone move erratically, although in 1 second there I did kind of lose my focus. But here, this is 3, 4, 5 seconds where it's great footage, right? You get some of that parallax effect. If I was closer to my subject, then you would get that parallax effect a little bit more. Now let's go in the other direction, and you'll see, I'm starting to move to the left and adjusting the rotation to figure out what I want in the middle. In this case was the bigger, taller trees. And once I have them there, I hold the joysticks, keep them steady, keep them steady, keep them steady, and get very nice footage throughout. Eventually, at the end, at some point, I just let go, or I can't hold it anymore, so the footage stops. But those are my tips Make sure when you're flying, right, you start adding different dimensions, multiple elements to your movement. It's going to make your footage a lot more interesting. And also, as you're holding the remote, making sure you're keeping it steady, right? No abrupt movements. And when you're editing the footage together, you're starting with that smooth footage and you're not including any of the adjusting that you're doing. The last tip, which I left for the end, is don't use these guys for controlling your drone. Instead, use these guys. So hold the remote and use your fingers in like this direction to be able to move and hold. You have 2 points of contact this way, as well as your hands on the remote, so you're a lot more steady. And also, there's a little bit more dexterity and a little bit more finite movements that you can do with your pointer and your thumb on the joystick instead of just the thumb. So let me know what you do to practice your flights. As I said, this is not going to be something you'll be able to do from the very beginning. You got to practice just like anything else, and over time you get better. Start by adding 2 movements, maybe moving left and right, moving and keeping your subject in the middle, and then you can start adding altitude or decreasing your altitude. Well, thanks for watching. If you like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, leave your comments below. Your feedback is very important to me. I want to make sure that I'm providing value to you and you're learning something from my videos, but at the same time I'm using them to explore and learn how to do stuff as well. So anyways, thumbs up, subscribe, like, and we'll keep having more videos. Thanks.